So I've been doing some training in a home gym setup recently, and I've been really surprised with just how good those sessions have been. It's forced me to really focus on the basics, but also getting creative. I've been getting huge amounts of stimulus, and I've really refocused on progressively overloading some of those fundamental lifts, the basic big movement patterns that kind of get forgotten about where you're in a commercial gym with a bunch of toys and machines everywhere. Not only that, but I've been really surprised by how much I've actually enjoyed that home gym atmosphere. I have literally always trained in commercial gyms, and I've been part of that gang of creating your own atmosphere with your mindset and your music, but it really took me aback just how much I was able to lock in, focus, and enjoy just not being surrounded by literally anybody. I thought a home gym would feel quite restricted, but I actually felt the opposite. I felt extremely free and I felt super focused. Even my rest periods just plummeted and I was getting through work so much quickly, but still performing really well. I just felt more ready to go and I was just able to keep pushing it set after set without these really lengthy rest periods. It was really surprising. And not to mention playing your own music, never having to wait for equipment, not having to witness other people do 1/8 reps on the leg press, not having to smell anybody next to you, and knowing that nobody is watching you. That's all pretty sweet too. All of that is completely beside the point of this video, but I just wanted to share my surprise in how much I'm actually enjoying this. What I actually wanted to share with you is the push workout that I'm currently doing in a home gym, because I'm getting some phenomenal stimulus from this session, especially the tricep part, which has always been a problem area for me, so I thought you might get some benefit from this. My triceps are super stubborn, and just 2 sets of the final superset I did smashed them and they were sore for days. So I want you to see that. So I'm going to take you through the full session. I'm going to tell you the rep and set ranges that I've been giving myself throughout this mesocycle and what I think you might want to be looking at, along with some tips for the exercises. The entire training session will be written out in the description, so make sure you take a look there if it's something you want to try. So starting off, of course, with the barbell bench press, and here I will typically start my mesos at 2 to 3 sets or so, depending on whether the exercise is fresh and novel to me or not, and I'll typically end it at around 4 or 5 sets, and that will always be in the 6 to 10 rep range. You want to ensure a controlled eccentric, not necessarily slow, but controlled on the way down, with of course touching your chest every single rep. Make sure you're always driving your chest towards the ceiling, pulling your shoulder blades back and down towards your hips, and just think about exposing your chest to the weight as much as possible. Following on from that, I move on to an incline dumbbell press to hit the chest from a bit of a different angle. Here the sets will typically range from 2 to 4 throughout a mesocycle, and rep ranges will be a little bit higher in that 8 to 12 rep range, mainly because of the instability from dumbbells. More moderate rep ranges tend to work a little bit better, and to be honest, by the time I was finished with these, my chest is just absolutely fried. Alongside these, I also go back and forth with cross-body lateral raises for no reason other than time efficiency. Side delt volume can get very high, especially when you're doing it one arm at a time. So placing it between other movements and other sets is more efficient, and it just makes it a bit more enjoyable basically. And sets here can literally be anywhere from 3 to 6 throughout a mesocycle, all within that 10 to 20 rep range. This movement is absolutely awesome for biasing load in the lengthened stretch position of the delt, so make sure you are really reaching across your body and focusing on that loaded stretch. After that superset, I go to weighted dips for a combination of chest, shoulders and triceps, and I personally get a lot of all three here. It might be a little bit different for you, but for me it's pretty even, and I perform these weighted to keep myself within the 6 to 10 rep range, as for me that seems to be the most productive place to be. My set numbers here will usually be in that 2 to 4 range as well. It's really important to pause at the bottom of each rep as a form of standardizing what a rep actually is, but then you also get to milk the tension out in that stretch position, which is where most of hypertrophy is actually happening, not the top half. So basically stop doing your dumb little half reps, drop some weight and do some good reps instead. And now for my favourite part of the session, which is this killer Triceps Superset, which is cable overhead extensions, superset 2 tricep biased deficit push-ups. Just 2 sets in the 10 to 15 rep range, got me mega pumped and sore as hell, but that will probably progress to 3 or 4 sets throughout the meso and it loses some novelty. Some things to focus on here are a really nice deep stretch and slow eccentrics on the overhead cable extensions. Then on the deficit push-ups, you want to keep your elbows tight to your sides as possible and think about bringing your hands to your shoulders, bending your elbows as much as possible. It's almost as if you're doing a skull crusher or a JM press with your hands. If you do these properly, then you won't be able to do many. It will absolutely kill you. And that's it. That is my full home gym push workout that I have personally been finding extremely productive with some pretty limited equipment. Like I said, the full session will be written in the description if it is something you think you might benefit from or want to have a try. If you have any questions at all about this session, then drop in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them, justify my choices, justify my decisions, and all that kind of good stuff. Please show your support to the channel by giving the video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's really appreciated and there are a lot more videos like this coming. Thank you as always for watching. Until the next one, see you later guys.